The BTC Power of 3 is currently playing out exactly how we predicted in the previous video. Now we are going to be looking at the BTC Power of 3 update and also quickly talk about ZBCN, XCN, and Jasmycoin price update. Let's not forget we are going to briefly talk about the orders chart against the BTC pair as well in order to get a clear picture of what is really happening for altcoins. Now we are also going to talk about the BTC dominance on the weekly time frame in order to get a clear picture of what is really going on for Jasmycoin, ZBCN, and also XCN. Now let's begin with the BTC Power of 3 real quick. In the previous video, I specifically gave you guys this projection. This was the projection we made in the previous video. I told you guys I'm expecting BTC to follow this projection. I called it a Power of 3, PO3, and I told you guys this was the accumulation phase, the manipulation phase, and then the distribution phase. Now, if you guys are paying attention, we are clearly following the pattern we drew in the previous video, and we retested the manipulation phase the second time before finally rallying to the upside. BTC is currently trading above $73,000, which is massive if you ask me. And according to this projection, I'm expecting a rejection from around 75k before further price move all the way to $80,000 for BTC. But for now, something is holding XCN, ZBCN, and Jasmycoin behind, and it's because BTC is currently outperforming. If you're paying attention to the dominance chart on the weekly time frame, BTC dominance is currently outperforming the orders chart. If you're paying attention, orders chart on the monthly time frame, let's even go to the weekly time frame real quick to see what's up. Now, if you're paying attention, this is the weekly time frame for the orders chart. Now, remember I explained the orders chart for you guys. If the orders chart against the BTC pair is pumping, that is, altcoins are outperforming BTC. But if the orders chart against the BTC pair is dumping, vice versa, that is, BTC is currently outperforming altcoins. Now, for now, BTC is currently outperforming the likes of XCN, Jasmycoin, and ZBCN, and a lot of other altcoins. The orders chart is currently dumping on the weekly time frame, and if you're paying attention, BTC dominance chart on the weekly time frame is currently pumping. Now let's not forget this is an obvious head and shoulder pattern. I explained it in the previous video as well, and the end result for this head and shoulder pattern is likely to be to the downside. I'm expecting a 53.88% target by the time we lose this trend line, this neckline, and retest it as resistance. You all should start expecting 53.88% for the BTC dominance target. By the time that is happening, the likes of ZBCN is going to explode to the upside, XCN is going to explode, Jasmycoin is going to explode as well. Now let's even talk about Jasmycoin real quick. Now if you paid attention, we retested this zone, which was the resistance zone I drew you guys attention to in the previous video. I told you guys that zone is likely to be a resistance zone, that the moment Jasmycoin is able to flip it into a support, then we should start expecting 0.00642 to come into play to be the next target. Now what happened? We had a fake out. We were unable to flip that zone into a clean support. It was just a fake out. And after that fake out, Jasmy dumped aggressively to the downside. We are now back above the 50 exponential moving average, and we are currently rejecting from this resistance zone. So fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. We are left with 2 hours and 16 minutes until this current 4-hour candle closes. So the moment therefore, now even if this rejection should continue, I think Jasmycoin might likely find support around 0.0056. So the moment we find support around that territory, I'm expecting a further price move to the upside, maybe this time around taking out the resistance, retest it as support, and then continue our rally to the upside. Now the reason why I'm expecting Jasmycoin to take out the resistance the moment we are able to find support for this current rejection is because if you're paying attention, the BTC dominance just tapped into a potential resistance territory around the 59%, and it's currently trading around 59%. So we are now currently trading inside a potential resistance territory. Now, if you guys This is the resistance territory. So anything above this zone flipped into a support is going to be disastrous for altcoins, which I don't see that happening at all. So I think sooner or later the BTC dominance is going to dump and the orders chart is going to like get a bounce. The orders chart is obviously trading on top of a potential breaker block and a potential support territory as well. So vice versa, I'm expecting the orders chart against the BTC pair to get a bounce to the upside. Like something like this to happen, get a bounce to the upside, which if that is happening, the BTC dominance is going to get a rejection to the downside. That is just it, a rejection to the downside. So the moment we are losing the neckline, flipping the neckline to a resistance, then you all should expect further price move to the downside, which is going to be a mini altcoin season for Jasmycoin and also for ZBCN and also for XCN. Now let's even talk about XCN real quick. XCN is currently trading around 0.0048 and we are left with 2 hours and 40 minutes until this current 4-hour candle closes. Now we just retested a resistance zone. That's why we are getting this rejection. Now, in the previous video, I specifically told you guys we need to wait for a candle close above 0.0050 for a confirmation, a candle close and a retest of that price before we can start expecting further price move to the upside all the way to 0.0053 for XCN. Now, we were unable to close few bullish candle, 4-hour candle above that territory. We had a fake out though. You know, XCN is fond of making fake out. So we had a fake out, I think multiple fake out one, fake out. I think the first fake out almost got to the first TP we talked about. The first fake out rallied all the way to 0.00525, while our price target was around 0.00535. So the first fake out almost got to our price target for XCN, got a massive rejection, made a second attempt, got a massive rejection. So like I said for Jasmycoin, I think the next attempt, even if this rejection, let's not forget we are currently retesting a breaker block. This is an obvious breaker block on the for the price of XCN. So it's either we get a bounce from this breaker block zone and then finally break out of this resistance around 0.0050, retest the resistance as support, then continue our price to the upside, or the current correction XCN is having correct all the way to this liquidity pool zone, then get a massive rejection from there, retest this previous resistance as support, then continue our move to the upside, get a rejection from there, retest this area as support, and then finally break above the 0.0050, retest it as support, and then continue to the upside. So regardless of what happened, it's the chart is signaling that we are still going to move to the upside. That is just the truth. In as much as the global market uncertainty is currently in a fear zone as a result of the current war going on between US, Iran, and Israel, which from the look of things, the United States and Israel is likely to put boots on the ground very, very soon in Iran. So yeah, that is just it. And according to what the BTC dominance is saying, just as I explained earlier, we are looking forward to a potential dump. And according to what the orders chart against the BTC pair is saying, we are looking forward to a potential bounce from here to the upside, which if the dominance is getting that bounce, then the likes of Jasmycoin, the likes of XCN, the likes of ZBCN is going to get a bounce to the upside. That is just the truth. Now for ZBCN, we just had a minor fake out from the resistance zone we talked about in the previous ZBCN video. By the way, if you're here to like this video, smash the like button, destroy the like button. So we had a minor fake out, but ZBCN was unable to flip that zone into a support. Now, we are currently retesting that zone once again, the zone that acted as a resistance previously. Now we just need to see ZBCN flip that zone into a support, like I said in the previous video. The moment we are flipping that zone into a support with at least 4 bullish 4-hour candle close above it, then we can start expecting further price move to the upside all the way to 0.00246555 for ZBCN coin. And if this current correction continues for ZBCN coin, then you all should expect a potential reversal around this territory, and then a move to the upside. Either we reverse around that territory, the second reversal zone is going to be all the way to this 50 exponential moving average, or we reverse around this territory. So this is what I'm expecting for what's it called? This is what I'm expecting for ZBCN. So fingers crossed, let's see how it goes. The moment ZBCN is going above the resistance, flipping it into a support, we need to flip it into a support with at least 4-hour candle, bullish 4-hour candle close above there. That is when we can start expecting further price move to the upside. If we are not flipping it into a support, ZBCN will continue to consolidate below that resistance territory. So yeah, that's that for that. The cryptocurrency market fear and greed index is currently seated at extreme fear, indicating 10%. Today is 4th of March 2026. And yeah. So BTC on the 4-hour time frame, BTC is having, I think, similar pattern like the altcoins are having. The only difference is BTC has broken above the resistance, whereas altcoins like ZBCN are still trading below the resistance. Altcoins like XCN is still trading below the resistance. Altcoins like Jasmycoin is still trading below the resistance. So I'm expecting BTC, even if this BTC correction continues, I'm expecting a reversal from this territory for BTC to the upside, and then continue our pump all the way to around 77, 78, 80K respectively for BTC. So get ready to buy BTC if we retrace to the 69,000 territory for BTC on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, that's that for that. The power of 3 is still currently playing out as predicted from the previous video. So it's likely to go all the way to 80K. And yeah. ZBEC network is up 5% in the last 24 hours. Jasmycoin is up 5.6%. XCN is up 4.8% in the last 24 hours. And but BTC is currently outperforming all of them. So let's see how it goes. As always, my name is Isaac. Peace out.